Hello, beautiful. How are you doing today? So, we are going through a whole systems collapse right now. The world as we know it is crumbling down, is breaking down, and falling apart. And we are feeling it deeply and in many, many ways. We are kind of in a state of stupor and shock and overwhelm. And many of us have been feeling this sense of, I don't know what to do. And we feel it like deep, deep within ourselves. And the I don't know what to do is, I don't know what to do outside in the world with my life, but also I don't know what to do with all the things that I'm feeling, right? And I think when I said in many ways, we feel all this craziness in many ways, we also feel a lot of confusion. And with I don't know what to do, a kind of paralysis. And there's an aspect that I want to bring up that I think contributes and or is at the source or something like that about that sense of paralysis and confusion. So the systems that are breaking down right now are the human made system, the world as it was organized and structured by humans, right? The economic system, education, political, all these things that we have called the structure of our lives. So we feel that breakdown, and it's very, very troubling, and we feel very powerless because all these things are so big, and it seems like who we are, that small little thing in the machine, doesn't have much power at all, and less these days with all the things that are happening. But here's what I want to bring up is that I think that our confusion also stems from the fact that we are feeling conflicting messages. And by that, I mean that we feel all these human generated systems falling apart, breaking down, crumbling. But there is also a part of us that knows, that feels, that speaks, that there is another system beyond the human made one. And that is the natural system of the world. And as humans, made out of molecules and all this stuff and energy, we are deeply connected to the natural systems of the world. And the natural system, when there is a collapse, something that um, destroys, there is always a rebirth, because life is always about moving forward, about growth, adaptation, change, and moving towards the light of things. So I think that within us, we also feel or hear that voice that tells us, but this that you see out there is not everything. You are witnessing and receiving and part of that death of all those systems. But we are also the essence of the rebirth and the growth and the expansion and the possibilities of what can come after some destruction. So, right now, we are contending with dueling forces inside of us. And the one that is loud and outside seems to be getting all of our attention. But I feel like it's time to pay attention to that other force that is intrinsic to our being, the part that is about life, about humanity, about divinity, and just that life force that moves and organizes and rebalances and harmonizes everything on the planet always. And we are part of that. So I don't know if you're like me, but I will assume that you are because you're listening here. Many of us have spent so much time in what I have called, and I think others call, the healing hamster wheel, right? We have dedicated so much of our time to excavate and fix, attempt to fix, and regulate and do all these things because we have recognized what's, the traumas that we have gone through and that we must heal ourselves in order to move forward. And I don't know about you, but I've been kind of over it for a little while. I still do some because it's always important, but I've got this rebellion and this voice that is telling me, whoa, yes, it's important to be validated in who we are, to being seen, and to understanding how we're made when we're highly sensitive people. There's a lot of understanding that is super essential in order for us to evolve, move forward, and move on to other things. But at some point, and I feel it deeply right now, and that's, I suspect that you do too, it's like, okay, but all this healing, all this work, there is a reason for it. And at some point, we have to get to step 2, right? At some point, I've talked about this in another video. If I find it, I'm going to link it. Um, like it's like we're spending all this time turning the soil of a field, to plant, and turning the soil, removing all the rocks and analyzing, the nature of the dirt and saying, oh, we've got to get rid of this, we've got to turn this over and all that. But at some point, it's like, okay, it's not perfect. We can continue to work on it, but it's time to start planting seeds so that we can start creating that which we want to see. So, in that frame of mind, I want to share something that's been happening to me in just the last few days. I have felt, you all know, I have shared a lot about, everything that we go through, the anxiety, the loss, the not being able to find our purpose, and the financial struggle, and the health struggles, and all the things that so many of us go through. And I've been sharing about it so that we all feel like we're not alone, and, the validation and being seen and understanding how we're created and all that. In the last few days, I have felt this, I will say, sudden shift inside me that has moved me from a focus on all these things to a focus on hope. And it has surprised me because it's like my whole body is now carrying something different. My life has not changed one iota. All the things that I've talked about, all the challenges and all these things, nothing has changed. And yet somehow my life feels lighter. And it's like, thank God, after all these decades, that I am feeling this shift. And this is what I want to start talking about. I don't know if it's going to be a consistent message, but it is what is moving through me right now. It is this idea of hope. And I feel like it's so important now to start injecting discussions and the energy of hope into our lives, because it is very, very easy right now, because of the magnitude of all the ugly stuff going on in the world and all our disempowerment and our feeling of powerlessness, to slowly kind of erode hope. And and limiting the time that we nurture it. And the thing is that hope is a practice. It's like a muscle. Hope is like going to the gym. If we let it diminish and not pay attention and dedicate time and practice to it, it will be an atrophied part of us, like an atrophied idea. It's not a muscle, but let's call it a muscle. Our hope muscle is becoming atrophied because everything outside is just so darn loud and heavy and scary and disheartening. And with everything going on, it becomes kind of, well, I can't talk about hope or think about hope or live with too much hope because it feels kind of futile, and it feels a little bit disconnected from the horrors of the world. And we can feel ourselves, or we can be perceived as being kind of Pollyannaish if we focus too much on hope and stop talking about all the things that are going wrong. But hope is how we change the future. Hope is a practice that is deeply connected with our imagination. And right now, because imagination, expansive thinking, thinking outside the box, imagining, dreaming, that is the essence of hope. And not only is the world heavy nowadays, but in some more subtle ways, even though some of us feel it deeply, our imagination is also under attack right now. I'll talk about it some other time, but all the things that AI is now doing for us, or that we are encouraged to use AI for, is kind of creating atrophy to our muscle of imagination. And that is almost the most dangerous thing, I think, that is happening right now, because our imagination is a great big part of our humanity, and it's where lies our capacity to affect the world and create the future that we want to see. What's the saying? If you don't use it, you lose it. Don't use it, lose it, something like that. But it is the same for hope. And I want to be here inviting you to start dedicating a little bit more time to hope. We've done a lot of work to understand all our wounds, our traumas, doing the inner work. We cannot ignore what's going on in the world, but we have a choice to make right now. It is to make that shift from the death of everything that we know to the birth of that which we don't know. But our job is in this transition to make sure that it is the human values, the things that we value, the love, the compassion, the creativity, all these things that are deeply human, that we hold them into this passage, into the new world that is being born, but that we still don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know if it's going to last. As I said at the beginning, if I'm going to be consistent with it. But right now, I was going to say inwardly, but declaring also publicly that I want to start moving my rudder to be more directed towards hope and to cultivate it in us. Because I know that if you're here and if you're still doing the work, there is something inside you that is pulling you forth. This natural system, this life force that always goes towards growth and renewal and harmony and new world, we have it in us. And I really believe that even if we have spent years, decades, months, whatever it is, more mired, I think is the right word, into the challenge, the difficulty, the struggle. Ultimately, deeper than that, we have something that is hopeful. And it is our hopeful selves that I would like us right now to put more energy in, because we have it in us. This is not a pipe dream. We are made of that, whether we call it source, life force, creation, divinity, humanity, or higher self, whatever it is that we call it, we are inhabited by that. We are moved by this. We are motivated. We are being animated from within with that light and that hope and that vision and feeling. It's like a felt vision of the things that are possible for us. And if you're here, you got it. If I'm here, it's because it's in me. And if we focus some of our time on this, we can do this. We can actually be part of this world changing into something that we value. Is it going to be made like this? Probably not, unless there's this planetary wide quantum leap some people talk about. But let's just focus on our inner world, our small steps, and our state of mind, and start cultivating this thing that is in us that moves the world greater than the human made systems, this natural system that holds the planet and creates and loves and supports. So I truly believe this. I hope you'll join me, and I hope this resonates. Tell me in the comments if you have been noticing those dueling forces, like the absolute kind of despair and don't know what to do and confusion, but also this thing that kind of wants to emerge and start leading us. Let me know if you feel it. I love you. I will see you soon. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and start spending some time on this hope inside. It's part of us. So let's live with it. Let it lead a little bit. Bye.